Are you ready? I said, are you ready? You are listening to Voice of the Fans Sportscast, brought to you by none other than the voices of the fans. Discussing football, basketball, news, trending topics. The one-stop shop for all things sports. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Hosted by none other than Ben Swift Reynolds, Taylor Gatwood, and Tyler Wright. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Voice of the Fans Sportscast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Voice of the Fans Sportscast. I'm your host, Ben Reynolds. We have Deanie in the house, T. Wright. We were our special guest, Rod Kennedy. What's going on?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's good to have you in here, man. We excited for you to be on, especially when you're here to talk about air hockey. It's something that we don't know much about. We played as kids, but we decided to learn more and help you grow this thing. Cause I love some air hockey, bro. So I love to learn more about it.
Yeah, excited to tell you guys about it. It's actually been around for a while, and it was super big in the 70s and 80s, and then it kind of lost a little bit of steam. But there's always been this kind of underground, serious competitive player base that's trying to keep it alive and try to grow the sport, and that's kind of where I came in, reaching out to you guys. I'm part of that player base and want to teach people about it and let them know that if you think you're good at air hockey, like, you can prove it,
Yeah, I've seen some of those matches on YouTube, and I don't know if any regular humans can compete on that air hockey table.
Yeah, I'm blown away.
I've seen some moves I've never seen.
Hey, Rob. Houdini's special move is he just hits it, as hard as you can.
Yeah, there's a learning curve, right? And like most people, when they come up, or you watch people at an arcade, they're just kind of playing slap puck and whacking it. When you watch that pro game, like Deanie's referencing on YouTube, which there's a bunch of professional games on YouTube that people can go and check out. But when you watch that, there's a lot more strategy involved and like puck control. There's like an element of like knowing who you're playing against and trying to get work shots that will work against them. So there's a lot more than just kind of slapping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. But man, let's backtrack for a second. When I was doing my research, I've noticed that you were a ice hockey champion around 2010, 2011, maybe the NA3HL championship at the Robert Morris University. So kudos and hats off to that. Yeah, man. So tell us about your time spent in hockey at the university.
So I played hockey my whole life. Started when I was little. My older brother was a goalie in ice hockey, and I was a goalie, and you kind of see behind me here. So I started playing, and then I actually left high school a little bit early and played what's called junior hockey. So I went up into Minnesota and then Canada, and that's where like colleges will recruit from to play. And that's where I won a league championship with the Chicago Hitmen in the NA3 league. And then ultimately, kind of traveled around. I have some crazy junior hockey stories, being a 18 to 20-year-old, away from home, but that's maybe for off the pod. But so I eventually came back to Chicago and went to school at Robert Morris University here in Chicago, did accounting and played for their hockey team. And we took second at nationals one year. We lost to Arizona State. And then we also won a couple of league championships while I was here. So it was pretty nice. But since it's kind of weird, my college they like sold. So there's no
Oh,
more
really?
Robert Morris University Chicago. It's now part of Roosevelt University. So it's a little interesting there. But that's actually how I got to air hockey. I had a couple of pretty rough injuries my senior year and couldn't really play. Didn't really want to risk it playing men's league. So that's how I kind of got into air hockey, right? I figured like there's still hockey in the name. It's not as bad. You know what I mean? But yeah, ice hockey was my first sport. I loved it. I was a goalie, so I think that's maybe some of the reaction time maybe helps with air hockey for sure.
Yeah.
Is that a hard pill to swallow? Not being able to play professional?
Yeah, I kind of always, maybe not always knew, but for a long time I knew I wasn't going to make the NHL. And, kind of for me is, I figured I could make more money and like eventually support a family better, if I didn't kind of go down like the semi-pro route. But it was still kind of in my head, as I was graduating, like, oh, maybe I could. But then I had a really bad concussion and I ended up actually breaking my neck, so it made the decision pretty easy. Yeah.
It kind of made the decision for you right there, huh?
Yeah. And I like coach ice hockey still, in the area. So I help out with teams and I still get my like fix with ice hockey for sure. But it was kind of tough, like growing up, always telling people like, yeah, I want to play in the NHL or yeah, I want to be a professional hockey player, to like kind of see that, go past you. It's obviously difficult, but you can give back to the game, by coaching and doing other stuff, which has helped me, kind of swallow that pill. Right.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I coach too, 'cause I love sports and, I always love football and basketball. So that's why I do, just give back the knowledge I, got from the game back to the kids,
Definitely. And I draw a lot of like cool parallels with being a goaltender specifically in ice hockey to like work, air hockey and just kind of life in general, like having that pressure of if you get scored on, it's no one else's fault but your own, kind of mentality. And that's how I kind of live my life. It's, if something bad happens, it's not anyone else's fault. And like, you have to, learn from it and then have a quick memory, or a bad memory rather, kind of forget about it and then just learn your mistakes and move on. Right. And that helps it helps in goaltending and ice hockey. It helps definitely in air hockey because you get scored on a bunch. But then in life too,
Oh man. So that's kind of, kind of crazy to take some of the skills and apply them to air hockey, because when I watch it, it just seems like so different and with the speed of it and everything. So it's definitely hand-eye coordination and all that type of stuff going on. And I know you mentioned you went to college at Robert Morris University. And
yeah.
Did you grow up in Chicago?
I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, so like west suburbs, Aurora, Illinois. I don't know if you guys ever seen like Wayne's World. That, yeah. So like the Wayne's World town. Yeah, I mean, like we're in the north, right? So there's more hockey than down in the south. But then since the Blackhawks have gotten pretty good, there's been definitely a big push for getting kids into hockey. There's a lot more youth hockey now. But there's always been like the Blackhawks in the area, which have contributed to hockey players. There is no NCAA Division I program in all of Illinois, though, even though there's a lot of professional guys in Division I hockey that are from Chicagoland, right? Even guys in the NHL are from a few from Chicagoland. So that's just an interesting kind of sports fact. There's no.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You think that Chicago would be a big place for that kind of sport. The only reason I know a little bit about hockey is because of the Mighty Ducks. Remember the movies? Yeah. Who did laugh because I used to watch them all the time. And the thing is though, that's how I became an Anaheim Ducks fan.
Oh,
no
nice.
lie, that's the backstory. That's why I grew up to like hockey because of the Mighty Ducks movies.
Really, dude?
Hey, what can I say? They cool. The kids are cool.
Way into liking hockey, yeah.
Hey, the colors, the man, they just made it cool. So
The jersey, yeah. But then the pro team changed that jersey.
really,
Yeah, they don't have like that cool duck logo anymore. You know.
dang man, that sucks. They should
Yeah.
have kept it like that because just seeing. God, they even had a cartoon show, the Mighty Ducks. They even had a cartoon show growing up when I was a kid.
I didn't know that. You're too dedicated to the Mighty Ducks.
Hey, I'm surprised I ain't have no gear or nothing. I am committed to the Ducks, but that's crazy. That's the only reason why I know a little bit about hockey because of the movie. It's kind of crazy, but here we are.
Do they have like an ice rink down there by you guys, or
Yeah, for like skating, ice
public
skating.
skating and stuff?
Well, we had a hockey team because I'm from southern Mississippi on the coast.
Yeah.
I forget the name. We had a hockey team.
The Bandits.
Nah, it wasn't the Bandits.
We did. There was a hockey team, Jackson Bandits.
Oh, it was in that, but we had one in Gulfport.
See, nobody don't know about that one though, Tyler.
Crazy. Better job.
Is there air hockey tables by you guys?
Arcades, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen one
Arcades.
in a minute.
Yeah, I think what's kind of growing in popularity has been like the arcade bar. So I know in Chicago, like every Wednesday, there's like a tournament at the bar in Chicago in Logan Square called Emporium. And then out in North Carolina, they have these like arcade bars too, called Boxcar in like Greensboro and Raleigh and Durham. And that's where like the North Carolina crew plays. There's kind of like these little pockets of like air hockey rock stars, and like North Carolina, the biggest is actually Texas. That's where most of the player base is. Usually someone from Texas, has won it all too. Right now, number one in the world, this guy Colin Cummings. He's on the air hockey team with me. He's number one in the world. He's a Texas guy. So that's a big hotbed. And now like a new hotbed is emerging out in Idaho. There's these guys playing out there, and they already have like 20, 30 serious players growing out there. So it's like all these little hotbeds are kind of popping up now. I think that the arcade bar is coming back, like that nostalgia of playing air hockey is. But,
Damn, man, you might have to start one in Mississippi.
There you go.
Hey.
That's what I'm thinking about.
We show our talent here in Mississippi.
Yeah. So Rob, man, tell us about the air hockey league that you're a part of.
Yeah, so I play in the governing body of air hockey is the USAA, United States Air Hockey Association, and they basically will host a major, like a world national tournament once a year, and there's not as much like other competitive leagues going right now. How it works for your world rank is you go to the national tournament, you play the national tournament, and then that's kind of your rank until the next national tournament, unless you get challenged by someone. So like any of you guys could challenge anyone right now for their world air hockey rank, and you have to play them in best of 7 sets, and a set is the best of 7 games. So it could be a lot of air hockey. Yeah. Yeah, I take 3, he takes 4, and then everyone else bounces down 1.
I already know what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
kind of the number one guy. I'm going.
There's some,
Go big, go home, fellas.
Get you guys down, get you ranked for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm ready, man. Right, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play.
There's been like other attempts over the years to try to kind of create more of like a pro league, and there's different ideas around that. I think historically it was difficult to grow that because of like you don't have social media, and like sports gambling wasn't as popular and legal. So I think like now with the emergence of like Twitch and live streams, and like sports books and social media. Like the plan is to try to grow air hockey kind of through those channels, right? So and then ultimately, like, people like air hockey, they play it at a local, their local bar or arcade, and then they want to start a local tournament. They usually will find out that there's other tournaments. They show up to a world tournament, and then they get rocked, and then they go back to their people, and they're like, oh my gosh, there's these people that are way better at air hockey, right? And then they kind of learn and start to play that way, and then like the next year they'll come back and they'll be way better, right? So that's kind of how I found out. Me and my brother played a lot growing up, and we thought we were awesome. So we found a tournament when when I was like 13. Was actually my first like real air hockey tournament. We showed up. It was the Illinois State Air Hockey Tournament, and we got rocked. Him and I got last and second to last.
You got the boy eyes, huh?
Yeah, and he was older than me. So I was 13, and he was like 19 at the time, and he was like hustling guys at like the bowling alley, and was taking me because he thought I was really good, and I was beating up on his friends. So he was like betting his friends that I would beat them. So we thought we were real good, and then we go to this tournament and just get absolutely rocked. So I kind of like kept up with the air hockey world. I was traveling for ice hockey and stuff, but I kind of always watched behind the scenes, like who was winning and what they were doing, and I would try to keep up with the world. So once I graduated and like hockey was over, that's how I kind of got reintroduced to the sport. So it's pretty fun. Going down to the world tournament and seeing how you do. This last year was down in Houston. It was earlier this month.
Sounds fun, man. Especially, you get to travel to different states, to play other players too. I know you mentioned earlier in the pod that you play hockey. Do you incorporate some of your hockey skills to air hockey? Do you use some of the techniques or hand-eye coordinations that you use in hockey to try to?
Yeah, I've been experimenting with that. Like with ice hockey, I would do mental visualization before games, and kind of go at that approach. And I would do like a dynamic warm-up before, and like kind of juggle tennis balls, like kind of like what you'd see like goalies doing on TV and stuff. Like a real dynamic warm up to warm up my muscles, because goalies are stretching and doing all sorts of crazy movements. So I've tried to incorporate that. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to try to incorporate that kind of stuff when you're going to like a bar on Wednesday night to try to like play competitive air hocky.
You
like,
might have a couple of drinks in your system.
Yeah, you gotta. So,
gotta get loose, fellas.
Yeah,
that'll be part of my stretching routine. Like, yeah, I'm ready to go now. So that's dope, man. No, 'cause I always thought about like the preparation that you might have to put into playing a game like that. Because same with video games or foosball or it's always a mental reps, and you gotta get yourself psyched and get yourself ready. Like you said, that was a big thing you said, mentally, prepared for these type of events, especially if you're competing. I would say I'm a competitive gamer, and before we play, I gotta get my hands right, get the sweat off, turn the fan on, get some air circulating. Just gotta get myself prepped for the what I'm about to do, and that's just awesome that that y'all guys also have a routine, to get ready for these matches and to play your best, especially at the top level, playing against guys that's ranked.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's been kind of a challenge, right? Because with ice hockey, I tried to get into like the state where you're in the flow, like you're in the zone. And when I would have my best games in ice hockey, I wouldn't remember anything. I wouldn't remember like the best saves I made. I wouldn't really remember anything because I felt like I was so in the moment and not really I wasn't processing the information to store it later. I was processing kind of the information to do that now, But with air hockey, it's as much mental where you want to shoot and execute your shots, but there's to a point where like it's the puck moves too fast to like really react to stop it. So you have to start picking up on tendencies that the other player is doing to try to give their shot away, right? So for me, it's been hard to find that zone where I can still remember things that are happening to impact like the decisions that I'm doing now, because I felt like in my other sporting life, right, I kind of harnessed a different kind of flow, so that's been interesting to figure out. And I feel like I'm super hyper conscious about it too, which probably isn't good because I'm overthinking stuff, during the match. Yeah, so like where they're shooting shots from, really there's 6 types of shots if you boil it down. Like you can hit off the right wall under their mallet. This thing is called a mallet, right? So you can shoot it off the right wall and under. And then if they're reading the under, you can kind of shoot it in the spot where they're pulling back and it goes over, right? So you have a right wall under, a right wall over, and you have that on the other 2 sides, right? And then you also have what's called a cut. So where if I'm a righty and I'm trying to make it look like I'm shooting a right wall, I barely touch the puck and it goes straight, right? And then there's also that same thing, but with a left wall where it's called like a cross, where I'm shooting it kind of across the goal. So those are kind of the 6 fundamental shots. So it's picking up where they're shooting these different shots from and in what kind of cadence. So it's kind of stuff like that, like how their elbow looks when they're shooting it. And the best players will be able to pick up on that stuff really quick, and then you can't really score, or they'll kind of snag the puck if you miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds legit right there, because me being an athlete, I played football and basketball, and I played defensive back, and I played shooting guard and basketball, and that's how we defenders. I'm mostly a defender. That's how I do. I look at tendencies. Like if I were guarding Tyler, I look at his crossover movements. Yeah, Tyler, I know about you. I look at his crossover movements, the way he might dribble. So it's crazy how, with air hockey, you look for those tendencies too, just like in a real live game, which is, amazing. It just takes things into a different perspective. Like you just don't walk in there like, yeah, I'm about to dominate. Yeah, I'm about to do my thing. No, you gotta break down the player just like you do any other sport.
Right, and there's some wild styles in air hockey. There was this guy back in the day. His nickname was Razzle Dazzle, and he kind of would saw off this part of the mallet and kind of like do crazy stuff with the puck and like flick it in like that. There's other people that really only hit like 2 shots, but they hit both those 2 shots so well that you can't really tell, which shot is coming, and they complement each other so well. So there's all these kind of different styles. Like a guy from Chicago is going to play different from a someone in North Carolina, right? Just because they have different influences, and the best players in their area are teaching their style to them, right? So you'll see it's crazy how much of like a style difference you can pick up in people.
That's crazy. I mean, just you explain the whole aspect of it, it's a lot of deep thought going into it. And so you say you currently ranked 23rd?
I think right now I'm 24th because I think there was a challenge match. I finished at the U.S. tournament 23rd, but then someone already lost their rank. So I think I bumped me up to 24th.
So you said you 24th. So you basically just challenge people to a match, like how you challenge somebody to a match?
There's like a mechanism in place where you could challenge someone for their rank, and then they have to accept it by a certain time period, and then you have to figure out a place to play. And then it's like I said earlier, that pretty rigorous 7-set match. Some people will will not do those as much during the year and just kind of try to ramp up and take their rank at the world tournament. There's also there's a world rank, and then there's also like player ratings. So there's a big algorithm that people manage. Like they track all the games that you've played and like how well you did against certain people, and like depending on how you did against that person's rating, right, you could go up or down. So kind of like chess or any kind of other like ELO rated game, we also have that implemented too. So there's a lot of cool things. We're hoping that it could be better with more competitive play and try to grow a fan base through like a Twitch or a place to see competitive air hockey other than like a YouTube. And then ultimately for me, I would like to be able to give people the option, like the ability to bet on it if they live in a state that allows that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that'll be dope. That's a game changer.
Yeah, it is. Because I like your whole mindset trying to go to Twitch, because Twitch is booming right now. They allow almost anything on there. YouTube, they doing YouTube gaming, so it's big. I mean, those two spots right there are the number one hitters in my opinion.
Yeah, I think people would watch too. It's like air hockey's been on the ESPN 8, the Ocho day, the last 2 Ocho days where they kind of broadcast like these obscure sports. And I've kind of been in the background checking Twitter when it's going on, to see if people are tweeting about it. Sometimes it's like, why am I watching air hockey? What is this? But other times it's like, oh, air hockey's on TV. This is so sweet, right? So kind of giving those people an opportunity to watch it more often and, have a fan favorite and stuff like that. I think it would be kind of cool. And there's characters in air hockey, right? Like there's some people freak out when they lose. Like sometimes people are chucking mallets. Yeah. And it's pretty competitive. Like there's 2 grown men or, grown adults playing this sport that they think they've been putting all this time in, and they think that like they're beating their buddies back home. Like they do not want to lose, right? They flew all the way out to wherever to play, like the temperatures get a little heated. That's for sure.
I can imagine. Do you have like a highlighted match that means the world to you?
This last tournament I played this guy Chris, and Chris Gibson. He was ranked. He finished 10th last year, and he was seeded going 13th into the tournament. So that's the best person I beat in like an official tournament setting, and that was an interesting match. I ended up beating him in 6 games. So at the tournament, it's a best of 7. And then the loser, it's a double elimination tournament. So there was like 96 people at this last one, double elimination tournament. And then wherever you're eliminated, you go off into a little spin-off tournament to determine your final rank. So I played him. My first match was against number 40 seed, and he actually played me really well. We went to 6 games, and then I was the underdog and played this guy Chris Gibson, and ended up beating him in 6 games. But there was some ref drama, and him and I were talking smack, back and forth during the game, and it got a little heated. But afterwards, we shook hands, and it was cool, and he congratulated me for beating him because it was a big win. But then I ended up playing someone that I was the favorite. He upset number 5 in the world, this guy Marcelo, and he's been in the top 10 before, but he came in seeded 28, and this guy was a bracket buster. He beat number 5, he beat number 3, and then he beat my boy Colin, number 1. And then Colin had to end up coming back from like the losers bracket to win it all. So this guy was a total bracket buster, and it was super interesting to see.
Yeah, that guy said he was on a mission. He said, "Y'all don't know my name before we leave here."
Yeah, he's. I think he's. I'm not exactly sure where he's from, but he doesn't speak any English. He only speaks Spanish. So I don't know if that's like Yeah, it was wild. He's a little bit older gentleman and doesn't like so he doesn't know what you're saying. So you can try to talk smack during the game and
Oh, that's great.
you are no.
I was gonna say,
I know. Hey, can I be mad? Like, what he said about me? Like, that man talking smack to me in Spanish. Like, okay. Like,
So,
I
yeah,
need a
like,
translate over here. I can't be having it. Tell him I need to say this. You know.
That dude was on a mission for sure. And he was hitting shots that, weren't super complex, but maybe a little bit old school. So then they were working on the newer players, which are kind of dominating. But there's some old guys too that are, and I say old guys if they're listening, they are older and they'll agree. But this guy Mark Robbins, he is, I think, like the godfather of air hockey. Super interesting guy. He is like 70 years old and he's still finished in the top 25 this year.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So he is good. He was a 2-time national champion. I may have gotten that wrong. I don't want to get, owned by the air hockey community for not knowing the lore, but this dude was good and he is old right now and you would not tell by watching this guy play. It's pretty interesting. So that's what's cool about air hockey is like old guys. There's really there's dominant women in the sport. Big fat guys, super skinny guys, short guys, tall guys. Really, anyone can be good at air hockey. It seems.
So how do you challenge yourself in between matches?
Like in between like tournaments, like what am I doing right now to get better, or like after?
Yeah. What are you doing right now to get better?
So I have a practice partner up in Chicago. He's on the air hockey team with me. So I try to play with him as much as possible, and I'll go to the Chicago weekly tournament when I can. I also have like an older kind of crappy table in the garage, and don't laugh, but you can play against yourself. They've created these things. They're called like goal blocks. You can basically block the goal or only make it the size of a puck, and you can work on your different shots and stuff like that. Ultimately, you probably need to play with someone who is good and kind of work on specific things with them. I think what separates the best players in the world from me, like guys in the top 10 who are considered masters. If you finish in the top 10, you're a master, which is pretty cool. Just like having that title.
I want that title.
The title's cool. I want to be a master. But those guys they hit their shots more consistently and with more deception. And they're also very good at snagging pucks. Like if they miss, or if I miss, they can grab it quickly so it doesn't come back to my side. So that's where ultimately I need to get better at, is hitting harder and more deceptive shots, and then kind of mixing up like different cadences to hit those shots. But then really defense, being able to snag pucks is, I think, what's going to help elevate my skill level, right? So like I don't know, when you guys talk to Colin or watch Colin's matches, he has world-class defense and offense, but his defense is particularly interesting to me because he plays a lot further out than everyone else, and he's very good at reading the shots, but then snagging missed shots.
Yeah, 'cause I was watching one video air hockey, and the guy, when I play my what you call that thing again?
The mallet.
The mallet close to the goal. And I seen guys like kind of more out. I'm like, are y'all doing it? Y'all must be doing it right. I must be doing it wrong. I must have a background like, I'm pretty sure I'm playing it right. Y'all play. But I seen guys that kind of had a mallet more out. But I always kept mine close to the goal.
Yeah, it's like angles, right? Like if you see a goalie in hockey, right, they're going to be further out of the net because if the net is smaller, right? So the further your mallet's out, there's less room theoretically for the puck to go around your mallet, right? So that's why you want to kind of play out. And then the other huge thing is like people will hold it like this, right? Professional players hold it like back here, different variations of this grip. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
When you be scared to hit your hand, like your hand smash with the,
Yeah.
if you hold it to the side, you're holding it to the side.
Yeah, you kind of like your fingers are in here with your thumb there, because then you can get more power like through your wrist.
Oh, I see. That's
More
clutch.
deception, right? So now if like I don't have a puck up here, but think about hitting a puck flush, it's gonna go that way. But if I barely hit it, it's gonna go towards you, and that grip allows for that kind of deception, you know?
All I gotta say, they don't want to see me in air hockey now. Oh yeah, I got me some tips. About to head to the arcade tomorrow.
Yeah, you guys gonna start the Mississippi weekly tournament down there?
We've talked about it. So
Yeah, RC put been on with us tonight, but he had a mercy, and he said, man, it's dope, man. He said, ride with it if we can, ride with it. So
Yeah.
we we love games basically, and I'm down for any type of game.
We're
Yeah.
very competitive.
Yeah, we very competitive. Even on the pod, it don't, like we not playing the games, but we defend people and back up players like crazy. So we always down for competitive games, and that's why I always, when I met you on Instagram, I was like, man, air hockey agency. It just blew my mind just knowing that something like this is out there that most people don't know. And when now hearing you talk about what all going to it, sound like a pretty good time to me.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it sounds like. A pretty good time to kick butt and take them one spot.
Yeah, you should, man. Colin will definitely appreciate that challenge from you for sure. He's a cool dude, so he'll give you some tips. And everyone in the community is really nice about helping other people improve their game, which I think is interesting because I'm super competitive, and that's been kind of weird for me. Like, I don't want to help someone beat me, in the future, but I'll take their advice. So that's interesting. One thing I think that we've done, like I'm boys with Colin and a couple other guys. So a lot of, like you guys, like people like air hockey. It brings back kind of this arcade nostalgia. So we started this air hockey agency team just to help pay for our travel down to Houston. And like Colin and another guy on our team, Vince, their match on YouTube has over 200,000 hits, right? So, yeah, so what I did was I started this air hockey agency and then ended up locking in sponsors to like put their logo on our jersey. Look
good.
Yeah, and then so I was able to like help out the 5 guys on our team to go down to Houston for the World Tournament and stuff, as long as they wore like the shirt. So it was pretty cool. So like shout out to this Joy Coast. They're like a sunglass and wooden watchmaker up in Chicago, and they plant trees for every like product they sell. So they're pretty cool, philanthropic.
They have a website.
Yeah, joycoast.com. They have some pretty cool like wooden sunglasses and
All right, we get them links from you at the end of the show.
Yeah, and then we're also sponsored by an insurance group called Task Insurance and an accounting firm called Porty Brown, and then a couple of ice hockey. Some of my buddies have ice hockey businesses, so they wanted to throw their logo. So my buddy Mike out in upstate New York, he has a hockey training business called Speed Skills Hockey. So he was one of our sponsors too. And he's a pretty cool guy. So they're just all helping out. They like air hockey, and I don't know if the investment is there quite yet for sponsors, but I think it will be. And just having your logo on like ESPN 8, Ocho Day, or on a big YouTube video, like a viral YouTube video, I think the prospect of that is kind of cool. So.
Most definitely. So, we get some more links from you after the show, so everybody can go to them and check them out. So, what do you do, when you're not doing air hockey, or do you do any other activities?
I have like a full-time job that keeps me busy during the day. I do like finance, accounting stuff. It's fine. You know, I don't air hockey won't pay the bills quite yet, but so I'm into. Yeah, I like it's not a bad job, but it keeps me busy. I travel and stuff for that, which is cool. So right now I have a client that's in Montreal. They're a coat company called Moose Knuckles, and they're a competitor of Canada Goose, and they make these really cool coats. So helping them change their systems over, like to better account for the coats and how they make the coats and stuff like that. So that's been cool going up to Montreal. I haven't found an air hockey table up there yet.
I'm surprised.
Right.
It's just like busy. Yeah, I went to the casino last time. That was fun.
All right. Yeah, that's top spot too.
Yeah, I didn't know they had they have like one dude and he runs like 5 games. So he's running like blackjack, like the roulette, like backgammon, some other stuff. And then it's like basically everyone in the crowd is at like a terminal. And then they like, so for blackjack, it was really weird. He like does the crowd's hand, and then he does like his hand. And then like everyone in the crowd can decide if they want to hit or stay. But if I drew like a 15 and he's showing like a 10, right? I decide to like stay on 15 for whatever reason, but some other guy in the crowd wants to hit. He hits, he takes the 10, but I still have my 15, but the dealer now doesn't get that 10, right? So then like the dealer would go, so this guy would bust with 25. The dealer would go, he'd flip over like a 4, so that 10 would have bust him, but now he gets another card and he gets like a 7, right? So there was stuff like
I have
that.
bad luck coming with games like that, so I kind of stray away from them. I tend to like bet money and play games on things I know I'm a sure win. Like you see T right over here, he lost a couple of meal bets to me. We do meal bets on the pod, like we bet, Tom Brady gonna win MVP this year. Then we discussed that. So he already lost 2 bets to me, and I bet on things I know I can win. That's basically what I do. You lost 2.
What was the second one?
The James Harden, and you lost the one last year. I can't remember, but he was so funny. He showed up to work with a bag of chicken minis from Chick-fil-A, and you're like, "Here, man." I'm like, "Wow!" Like, no congratulations. They were mad. He's like, "Here, man." I like, "Thanks for breakfast, bro." Like, give me a bet more often.
At the last World Tournament, we did kind of like a fantasy draft. So there was like 5 guys, and they each picked 6 guys, for example, and then you added up their final like finish, and whoever had the lowest amount won. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah, me and my buddy won that one. We picked. We actually had that guy 28th in our pick. The guy the 28th seed, he ended up taking 6. So that guy, he was our sleeper pick.
See, Rob, you a winner like me. That's what we do around here. Deanie and Tyler, take notes. We win around here.
Oh, bro.
So we noticed on your profile you just got married.
Yeah, out in here in Chicago in April. My college sweetheart Jody.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
You know,
congratulations. Any new adventures since marriage?
We went to Greece for our honeymoon, and that was unreal. Hit the islands like Mykonos and Santorini. So that was really cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. The Slovakia. Yeah, man. It was great. I loved it, and they're super cheap there too. Like that's like the only. Seems like the cheap food that you get is like the euro, like $2 like late night. It's like their late night food. It's like their McDonald's, man. Rip the euro.
Guess I need to take my wife to Greece now.
You should, man.
Can I
It
go
was
with
cool.
y'all, bro?
Yeah, Tyler, if you just carry around luggage and do everything I say, then yeah, you come with me.
And then
But you can't be picking up girls while we're in Greece, bro. That's not the deal.
it's like a honeymoon spot, man. It'd be hard to pick up girls there for sure.
Yeah, sorry, Tyler. You're like, dang it, look, you saw that face, like, dang it.
You'd have luck in Athens, I'm sure. Good luck.
Man, that's cool, man. So, let's talk about our social media accounts. I noticed that you have yours private. Do you believe like less is more, or are you just trying to weed out the people who not really?
I started another one for my air hockey fans, so I'll plug you guys with that one.
I see.
Yeah.
So you post private things on your Instagram page that private, and you just have a public page. I see.
And then I have like a public. Yeah, I'll double check. I think it's called Rob Kennedy Fans, and then my name is. Yeah, my nickname. A couple buddies gave me the nickname Bobcat.
Bobcat.
Yeah, a few years ago. So I'm trying to get that nickname going in the air hockey world, but you really have to like earn a nickname. It's like one of the old guard has to kind of give you the nickname. So
I just can't walk in there and like, yo, Swift, that's me. Let's play.
I don't know. There's like a couple of like goats in air hockey. There's this guy Danny Hines, legend, absolute legend. There's a guy Jesse Doughty. He was like the first. So I would say like Jesse Doughty is probably like the Wilt Chamberlain, and then Danny Hines and this guy Tim Weissman, who has one of the cooler nicknames, the Young Wolf. There's a YouTube video called Rise of the Young Wolf that is pretty cool. It kind of talks about this guy's rise and how dominant he was. I would say they're kind of like Michael Jordan A and Michael Jordan B. Like they're both dominant.
Like Michael and Kobe.
Yeah, but they're both kind of Michaels. Like they're both, the Kobe I would say is like this guy. He's on the team, Billy Stubbs, the Machine. He's kind of like my Kobe. And then Colin is like the LeBron right now. But there's people that think he's the GOAT. So there's some like kind of controversy right now. But it's like the Michael versus LeBron thing. Like you kind of will never know. Guys in the prime.
But I think Colin's the GOAT.
There's people that think Colin's the GOAT over like the old guard, these old legends.
The old legends not taking that very kindly.
Yeah.
They're like, are you out your mind? You ain't born yet. Like, how older people go. They're like, we using diapers.
Right. Yeah, Rob, if you ever decide on Bobcat as the name that you're going to go with, I'll make your logo for you.
Yeah? All right, cool.
Yeah, as y'all can see, I'm wearing our logo right here. That's the man that came up with it, Deanie. So,
the fat
finger.
artist.
He always been an artist. So
that's cool.
He does really, really fine work, I must say. I don't really praise him much. Kind of go to his head.
First time you hear you give me a compliment. The cameras rolled.
The compliments are far in between, but I give him one. I throw him a little nugget, once in a while. But yeah,
maybe we could just go screw the logo. Let's just go straight to tattoo. I was thinking like
I don't have any. I'm looking for my first tat. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny got me beat. You got like how many? You got 5?
No, 3.
3.
You got any, Rob?
I've got one. Yeah, I've got this. I'll show you guys maybe later. It's like a goalie bird. So it's like a black crow with a goalie helmet and like a hockey stick. That's like on my side. It's pretty wild. I got it when I was 18, and I'm not gonna say I regret it, but it's definitely a wild tattoo choice.
It's part of you now, so
yeah,
embrace it. Hey, you always get that laser surgery. They talking about the laser tattoo surgery. Just laser it off.
Nah, it's unlaserable. I'm pretty sure.
See, you ain't putting no laser on me.
Yeah,
So,
I think I just got to add to it with other crazy stuff, so it kind of takes.
oh yeah, since you're in Chicago, does that mean you a Bears fan, right? You say you're a Bears fan.
Yeah, Bears, Hawks, Cubs, and Bulls. Not a huge White
Cubs?
Sox.
You say
Yeah,
Cubs? Me too.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of baseball because we here in Mississippi. But back in the day, the Cubs used to always come on WGN. But
Yeah.
we don't get is WGN still around anymore?
No, they don't have the Cubs anymore. They started their own like Cubs network now. It sucks.
Yeah, so
That's how everyone was a Cubs fan, right?
Yeah, so the Cubs used to always come on here in Mississippi because of WGN, and so I sit there and watch it. Then next, I became a Cubs fan. So everybody like, how you a Cubs fan in Mississippi? I'm like, because of literally WGN broadcast Cubs games all the time.
Yo, but I do have to say, I don't know what Ben is talking about, but we do have a Mississippi baseball team here called Mississippi Braves. He's not a true Mississippian, so we do know about baseball here. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
I'm talking about professional, not minor. Nobody goes to minor league.
Those are shots.
They give away free tickets. When they give away free tickets, I mean, come on.
So, Mississippi Braves are the best. Yes.
The minor league games.
Look, Rob, he went to one game. Now he thinks he's part of the team. He's part of the fan base. One game.
They have like the dollar.
The ticket was free, Rob.
Dollar beer night there at the.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think they gave him out to him and his family, so he didn't purchase the ticket. Yeah, he didn't know I knew that. He didn't know that, but I see.
This guy here.
That's why they call me the captain also, Rob, because I know things, man.
Did you see him there or what? Did you see him there?
He put on his little Instagram and Facebook, so he kind of put himself out there too. So I kind of knew how he got them tickets and everything. But
I'm like Rob. I'm real private about places I go. So my wife probably posted it.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Your wife, Rob. If you didn't know, Deanie is my brother. We don't look alike, but he is my brother.
We're not twins, man. Of course, we're not gonna look alike.
Rob, you have the thought that they were brothers before?
I think Swift told me.
They look related to me. I can tell the difference.
Yeah, we really.
Yeah, they do.
I'm more handsome though, so
They
he's
look like
older
they're-
than me. He's older than me, but younger brother caught
Yeah.
up with him.
You Lil bro.
So,
You
Tyler,
guys
you
both
have a question
kinda
about the
like
Bears,
the
man?
same-
'Cause I know you like
same
just the
kind of
Bills.
cheeks.
Yeah. Hey, so Rob.
Some cheeks.
Right, yeah, we do. Our cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, we're Saints fans. Me and Ben are Saints fans.
Me too.
Him too.
Nice.
So, do you think the Bears will win more games than us?
And the Saints? I don't know.
How many you had the Bears win?
Well, I don't know. I got made fun of when I told them I thought they would win 13 games.
I didn't want to be the Rob. I didn't want to burst your bubble about 12 games. I thought it was a little bit. I said, okay. He
Be
I don't know,
aggressive.
but okay.
12 straight games.
Let me
Yeah.
say this, Rob. We have guys on the pod that backtracks all the time. So it's cool that you take away the 12 games. I don't know why you're looking like that, Tyler. Because
I didn't say the 12 games live, though. I wasn't live when I said that.
yeah, you wasn't live, so we're not holding that against you. So let's start over again. How many games the Bears win this year?
I think they're going to win probably 9 games. I'm going to go with 9.
I got 4.
I'm betting the Vegas over.
Okay, so what make you pick? What make you saying 9 games? What you seeing? Tell me what you seeing.
I'm just optimistic, man. They had a good preseason. I know preseason doesn't really matter, but there's not really much of like a controversy at quarterback anymore. I think guys will be able to just kind of jive now.
You said 9, but I'll tell you what I do like about the Bears. I like that y'all brought in an offensive mind coach, and I like Justin Fields. I like his tangibles. I think he can be really good. And I'm glad y'all got rid of what was the old coach name?
Nagy.
Matt Nagy. I'm glad
Yeah,
y'all, he was incompetent. I don't know how he became a coach, but he was bad, like really bad calling plays. And
It's like hard to watch, man.
Yeah, like Justin Fields getting killed out there, and you trying to throw the ball like 30 times a game. Y'all never gave David Montgomery a chance to run the ball. Like he's a solid back. I don't understand. Like they not overusing him. They need to overuse him. And so I think, and your receiving core, it's just bad. You only got one guy, the Daniel Mooney, Darnell Mooney, and Cole Kmet, y'all tight end. So y'all have some few bright spots. Your defense can be better, but y'all on the rise though. I give you that. Y'all not gonna do what y'all did last year. Y'all gonna win some more games for sure.
How many of you guys put the Saints? What'd you guys put the Saints at?
Oh man, Tyler, did I say 13? Did I say 13? I said 13 and
You said 14 at first, but you was like, that sounds a little crazy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sometimes I have my moments of craziness. So I said 13 and 4. People still sound crazy though for going 13 and 4, but I'm going 13 and 4. I'm being really optimistic about this season.
You sure are, bro.
But let me say this though, I'm more right than wrong.
You're gonna say that.
Who's gonna win it? Who's gonna win it all?
I have the Bills.
The Bills.
I really love the Bills. Yeah.
Does Tom Brady play for the Bills?
No, he played for the retirement home though.
They're not going to win. Whoever Tom Brady's playing for, that's who's going to win.
That's how the league works, huh?
That's how the league works. He has to go out in the blaze of glory before he can.
Yeah, he's gonna go losing to the Saints in blaze of glory because that's how he's going out.
No, man, that's not how it goes.
Who's the Saints quarterback?
Oh, famous Jameis.
The great.
Drew?
Oh, man.
Drew Brees? Is he still there? Is Drew Brees still there?
Gone.
How long has he been gone? Like 4 years?
What?
He went to a broadcasting booth. He couldn't play quarterback anymore.
How long has he been gone?
2 years.
2 years?
You said that like he passed.
I didn't Google that.
Google, wait, what? I didn't get my autograph.
No, he didn't pass away. He just went to a better job. He couldn't play quarterback anymore. So he went to the better job, which is broadcasting.
Didn't they offer like Tom Brady a bunch of money to go to the broadcast booth this year?
Yeah, they did, but he's not taking it. His wife gonna change all that sooner or later. You can stay. You can't stay that far away from your wife that long. She put over so many seasons, bro. And
you think 40? You're traveling more as the broadcast guy than the actual player, or no?
I think the players do more because you got off-season workouts. You have, all these different meetings. I think players probably have it worse than broadcasters.
That's a great question, though, because they play half their games at home. The players do.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess it all depends on where they send the broadcaster.
You're a broadcaster. You don't have to per se be there.
Yeah, didn't they send like the guys to like John Madden, right? He was going to like all like the premier games, and he didn't even fly. So he's like taking that RV bus like all across the country, like nonstop, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Was it called the Madden bus or something?
Yeah.
I think his wife is like getting tired of him playing. To be honest, there was like reports leaking out about her not being happy. I mean, so I don't know.
All I ever hear about Tom is like how he kisses his kids all the time.
How you do what?
That he like kisses his kids.
Yeah, on the lips, man. Like how you root for that? I don't know.
I don't think I've seen like
that's not a Southern thing, but I don't know. Do you, Tom?
Rob, you got him started on time.
I mean, do you, Tom? Whatever, man. You won a lot of rings, so I guess you do what you want. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, that's Tom Brady though. He like to say he's the GOAT. So, Rob, is there anything else you want to tell us about the agency before we get off the pod?
I guess just shout out to the guys in the air hockey agency: Billy Stubbs, the Machine, Vince Aceda, Colin Cummings, and then myself. I'm looking to add a fifth person for the next tournament. So maybe the community, if they're listening right now, they might perk up. So we're giving out dollar bills, man, to go to the tournament. So. And then anyone else that's listening, there's tournaments like big, weekly tournaments in Greensboro, North Carolina, Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, Chicago, Austin, Texas, Houston, Texas, Idaho. So, if you're interested in air hockey, there's definitely places to find it. And if you guys are into it at all and need help finding it, then give me a follow on Instagram and reach out, and we'll help get you guys out at a tournament. So, what's up?
What's your Instagram name?
Air Hockey Agency.
I've seen the link, Tyler.
That's the sponsored team, and then I'm Rob Kennedy Fans at Instagram.
Okay, we'll be looking for if you will, send me all the links that you need, like that you want me to put on the pod. I'm putting under the show notes. That way people can find it easier, and be more accessible. So just send me a message on Instagram or to my phone, and so I can just get these links out here. Okay, we want to get the thing going too, man. I'm excited for what y'all doing, man. It sounds really fun. It sounds really engaging, and I'm glad that we got to bring you on, Mr. Rob Kennedy, Bobcat. We're gonna give you that nickname, the Bobcat. You know what I'm saying? We got the Bobcat on here, guys.
I like the and one, like half man, half amazing. I think that was my favorite and one nickname. I need to get something on, hot sauce or something.
Fessa,
Yeah.
We have another guy on the pod. He does mostly NBA, and we call him IQ. He's really smart. He's going to school to be a doctor, so we call him IQ. He just thinks he know it all.
Yeah, that's fitting.
Yeah, man. Hey, Rob, it was nice having you on, bro.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.